Got you with your mouth full of water. Hi, Ann. How are you?
I'm fine.
You got your film. Oh, well,
Got my Film Noir Foundation.
here's my Film Noir Foundation martini. It has been a day. It has been a day. Yeah, the last few times we've done this, I haven't actually had a cocktail, but today it is totally required. Uh, I'm excited. But before we get started, hi,
Hi.
This is Ann Hockens. Ann Hockens is the director of communications for the Film Noir Foundation, which has a history of doing spectacular work, rescuing and restoring examples of our favorite film genre,
Yeah.
noir.
And this is Eddie Muller. He is the founder and president of the Film Noir Foundation. You may have seen him on TCM's Noir Alley. He's a world traveler.
Yes, because I just came back from sweltering Bologna at the Il Cinema Ritrovato Festival in Italy, and yeah, every day was pushing 100 degrees, and yeah, it was hot.
And in case people are wondering, we answer questions submitted by our people who subscribe to our email, which you can sign up for free for at filmnoirfoundation.org. And Eddie, what happens if they also donate $20 or more after signing up on our email list?
Ooh, they receive the digital edition of the Noir City magazine, which comes out sometimes if we're lucky, four times a year, edited by the fabulous Imogen Sarah Smith, managing editor Danilo Castro, and publisher me. Yeah, it's a great perk. It's a fantastic perk. The new issue is out. I'm extremely proud of it. Yeah, and then they get to hear about all the great stuff that we are doing at the foundation and what we have coming up, like the first Noir City Film Festival in New York City, which is
Yes.
happening July 10th to the 19th at the Paris Theater, the legendary Paris Theater in New York.
So tomorrow.
And oh, so tomorrow it starts. Okay.
Yes, this will
But
air the night before North City, New York starts. Don't panic. You don't actually have to go there till next week. We record the week
okay,
before.
I'm not panicking. Yeah, exactly. I know I have a week from the night we are recording this before I actually have to go to New York. But yeah, I know ticket sales have been robust. Everybody's very happy with how it's going. I will be there. Foster Hirsch will also be
Oh, I didn't know
introducing
Foster
stuff.
was going to be there.
Foster
Yay.
will be doing some things. Imogen Sarah Smith will be there introducing a couple of things on her own and with me. Elizabeth Bougerol, Ms. Noir City of 2026, lead singer and songwriter of the Hot Sardines, will be there performing. She'll be introducing some films with me on the opening weekend and performing on opening night, which will be great fun. And we're working on a lot of other surprises and special guests. So we're trying to get some New York based noir fans that you may have heard of to come in and introduce some of the films with me. Greatly looking forward to that. So if
Okay, but you have to
people, go ahead.
you have
No,
to
go ahead.
promise me if by some miracle you get Martin Scorsese, ask him how it was to work with Mads Mikkelsen.
Okay, I will do that. Although I'm very doubtful that he will show up at the festival, but
Me too, but if it happens, just ask. Ask for me.
the damn guy has seen everything. Like you can't coax him out. Like we're showing this, and we know you haven't seen
I
it. Then he
know
then
he's
he
seen
might come out,
everything.
but he's seen
Yeah.
every damn thing. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We could surprise. You never know. That's what I really enjoy about doing these festivals is you really have to plan everything out to the minute, and work goes into it. But then I always insist that we like don't don't trap ourselves into stuff because I like to leave air for like surprises. Like
Mhm.
something can happen. I don't ever want to say somebody like Scorsese were to say, I really want to come to that show. If we have everything down to the minute and commitments with all these people and everything, then it's like, sorry, Marty, we
Yeah.
can't fit you in, you know?
Yeah.
uh, like how we do it in Oakland. It's
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a it's a tight ship, but there's just enough air left in it that you can roll with it and pull something surprising out of your hat. We tried like hell last year in Oakland to get Ryan Coogler to come out. And I'm not giving up on the idea since he doesn't live that far from the theater.
Yeah.
It's like, come on out and introduce a movie, So anyway, that's that. Hey, Ann, can I hijack the show for a minute to just make a couple of comments about things?
Yes.
Not related to
Is this something I'll have to edit out later, or?
No, it's a pronouncement that I wish to make,
Oh.
which is we've all heard all kinds of stuff about the potential horrors of artificial intelligence. And most of it in the groups we run in, most of that has to do with how in the world can AI replace creativity, human creativity, right? I agree with that 100%. But I've heard a lot of talk lately on NPR and various other things about how, well, get used to it because AI is going to be taking over a lot of mundane tasks and making our lives much better because it'll be able to process information regarding, customer service stuff and healthcare stuff and medical records and all this kind of stuff. And I just want to say that is total bullshit. I have spent 2 days in artificial intelligence hell because I am absolutely convinced that somehow AI deactivated my health insurance.
Oh, Jesus.
And I went to an appointment with my cardiologist yesterday, a routine follow-up appointment, only to be advised when I got to the office that I didn't have insurance. Right? I've been paying for 45 years to the same insurance company, and suddenly, what's different from 45 years ago? Oh yeah, they've converted everything to AI, and all of a sudden, my account is inactive.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. It took me 4 hours yesterday going through the insurance company website, never dealing with a human being. And they lie through their teeth because it says, would you like a virtual assistant or a live chat? And the live chat is just AI with a bullshit human name,
Yeah.
Christine M. Right? I mean, it's all total nightmarish sci-fi dystopian shit. Sorry, I'm going totally blue on this one. And I finally cracked AI and like broke it down to an admission that it was not human. It didn't know what it was doing. And finally, it just gave up and gave me an actual phone number, which was nowhere to be found in any of the options. And then after that, I was too tired to do anything else about it. And I wanted to watch the World Cup anyway. And then today I followed up and nothing happened until I actually connected with a human being.
Yeah.
And you know what? It still took 4 hours, but it was 4 hours with a human being. It was one phone call that lasted 4 hours trying to resolve this. But that human being would not give up.
Yeah.
And that human being was actually, we kind of bonded, and it was like, I'm not hanging up this phone until your problem is solved.
Yeah.
Whereas AI, its directive is end this call as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, everything got resolved thanks to a wonderful customer service person named Charlene. And they still would never explain like what happened, but we all know what happened. There was some kind of technological glitch that just decided I was no longer available, or insurance was no longer available to me. And it was incredibly maddening because both Kathleen and I had doctor's appointments yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were rejected at both of them because of unnamed reasons. But finally I got them to reinstate our insurance. So there you go. Yeah. that was rough.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been through many similar situations.
Oh, I just had this with Amazon. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but I needed to talk to an actual person. I finally got through, and the first thing I said to him, I said, I feel really bad because it took forever to get through this with the AI, and people must be so furious with you. And I said, and I'm angry, but I don't want to take it out on the person who actually answered the phone. Anyway, we had a wonderful conversation
Good
and
for
stuff,
you.
and he went way beyond. I got follow-up phone calls and this whole thing on. But that's what I said, I've worked customer service. I don't want to take this out on you, but this isn't fair to you guys because every time you talk to a person, they're going to be completely furious because of the process of having to get through to actually someone. But
Well,
he was, you
it
know,
is like, you're absolutely right. It is like a science fiction movie because more than ever before, I think people calling customer service are bonding with the customer service agents because
ideally.
AI is the enemy of both of them, right?
No, it's really hard because, like I said, people by the time they get into there, they're going to be really
Pissed off.
upset and angry, and then the actual person that has to deal with someone who's already upset about something they wouldn't have been this upset about. Anyway, and then I had a whole thing again with Kaiser and my damn prescriptions, but
Yeah.
that's another story.
So yeah,
That was
sorry to
more.
hijack this and go that way, but since this is truthfully humanity's great existential crisis, it's
Yeah,
kind of worth talking about for a
yeah.
few minutes before we get into the stuff we enjoy. But it's just mind-boggling. So over the course of 4 hours, how many times do you think I said, since they always say this call may be monitored for quality assurance, or whatever? And it's like, I must have said there is no substitute for a human being like 450 times on that phone call, right? And I realize a lot of people don't agree with this because they get one bad customer service person and it's like, yeah, it'd be a lot better if we just had the machines doing it. And it's like, well, you're stupid if you think that.
No,
Because
and also if you want a good customer service experience, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. When
oh,
you're really nice to someone in customer service, you'll be amazed at what they will do for you. That's just
absolutely.
my tip from having also been in customer service for a number of years working in video stores. I did that
Yeah,
for like 15 years. That was my bread
absolutely.
and butter. Oh.
That in truer words, never spoken. And we were coming back, Kathleen and I were flying back from Bologna, and we honestly couldn't wait to get out of the heat. The festival is magnificent, but I couldn't wait to get out of the heat. And of course, uh, you know, Bologna is not a major city
Yeah.
in Italy, and so everything's a feeder airline, pretty much going into Bologna from major European hubs, right? So
Yeah.
you're Amsterdam and Frankfurt and Paris, and um, so the first part of the flight, which is just a 1 hour jump from Bologna to Munich in this case, uh, we went through a small regional airline, but everything for whatever reason, like had to go through that airline, which had an impossible to navigate website that said, check in here for your flight and blah, blah, blah. And we couldn't do it because it kept leading us to a dead end that said, give us your service card number. And it's like, how do I give you a service card number when I don't know what a service card is? And there was no human to answer the question. So I stupidly said to Kathleen, we'll just go to the airport and take care of it, make sure we get there early. But lo and behold, all these people had checked in online who lived in Italy, I guess, and knew what it meant. And they said they oversold the flight and there's no seat for you on this plane. And you've never had the experience of being around Kathleen when she has had enough. She's tough,
Yeah.
And just what you said, I said, stop, just don't. They don't like Americans who behave like this, and of course these two lovely young Italian women who were working the counter, that they got us on that plane.
Yeah.
They got us on that plane, literally, like saying, loiter right here until 12:45, and then if somebody hasn't shown up for this flight, even if they've checked in, we'll give you their seats and deal with them later. Because and I said, and they only do that because you didn't act like an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. So we made it home.
Viva Italia.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay. That's all preamble. We're out of the way on that. I won't
so I
talk
have to tell you about my shirt.
Yes, look
my
at that.
Haddonfield High School 1978. So this is so funny for people. Some people are going to know, but I'll just tell you. So this is a reference to Halloween because Haddonfield High School is where it's set in Haddonfield. 1978 was the year it came out, and they were all seniors, so that's why I have it. But what was funny is I did have someone come up to me and say, "Hey, did you go to Haddonfield?" And he was real excited. And I'm like, "Oh, no, explain." But then I realized because it's named Haddonfield after Deborah, the producer of the film. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name. This is horrible. But that's where she grew up. It was Haddonfield, but it wasn't Haddonfield, Ohio.
Okay,
like
got
the
it.
movie.
Got
It
it.
was a different Haddonfield, which is where this guy was like really excited to see my shirt, and I had to explain it to him.
I know you're a huge Halloween fan. Obviously, you're wearing the shirt. So
Yeah, I'm literally wearing the shirt for it. Yeah.
okay. And I think we've taken care of all of our preamble business. Shall we?
Let's get cracking.
And if I apologize already for constantly pushing my glasses up because it's warm in this room. Not as warm as Bologna, but my glasses keep sliding down my face because I'm damp.
I just wanted to say the office of my day job closed early since tomorrow's a holiday. So I walked over to North Beach and I went to Grafeo and bought a pound of coffee. And then I went to Victoria's Pastry and I got a cannoli and a cappuccino. And it was very nice. And it reminded me of why I live in this city still.
Excellent. You know that Victoria Pastry made the cake for my wedding.
Well, I didn't know that.
Our wedding, I should say.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, we may still have a piece of it in the freezer. It was only like 40 years ago, but yeah, Victoria Pastry did the cake at our wedding.
So anyway, people, if you visit San Francisco, you've got to go to North Beach. It's my favorite part of the city, actually, and there's so much good Italian food and pastries and everything there. It's wonderful. Okay, so just a few follow-ups.
On a nice day, nothing beats North Beach on a
and it was beautiful today. So I was sitting outside.
It's why you live in San Francisco.
Yeah, because it's really easy to forget, because if people don't know, I live in the Tenderloin, which is not a great part of San Francisco. So sometimes, like I get fed up and I think maybe I should just move to Houston, screw this. And then I go to North Beach. And then I was like, no, I love it here. I forgot.
Yeah. This is why I live here.
Yeah. Okay. So I just had a follow-up. So when we were talking about A Man Betrayed, you mentioned our friend Doug.
Yes, Doug Grieve.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, so he did send a note along. So my name was invoked, so my response must be given. A Man Betrayed is not a noir. It has more Frank Capra overtones than Robert C. Oudmack. It might fit in Alan K. Rohde's Arthur Lyons Film Noir Festival, for his definition of noir has a wider tolerance. I think the closest John got to our noir was Red River. Some say The Searchers. I'm not one of them. He would have fit into a role on on Dangerous Ground with no problem. Noir movies could afford John Wayne. Both
I think he means noir movies could not afford
John Wayne.
Yeah.
Both the studios and Batjack knew a solid John Wayne movie meant a solid box office return. Why take a gamble?
Yeah. And Batjack being John Wayne's production company.
Yeah, I know. I said that casually, like I expected everybody to know that. Thank you for saying that.
Well, I'm in full journalist mode tonight, so it's like I'm making sure everybody understands everything. And I agree. See, this is the thing that I guess I didn't. Maybe I said this, maybe I didn't. I don't know. But Doug is reiterating the point. I mean, John Wayne's screen persona was, frankly, too it was too morally righteous. There was no moral ambiguity in his screen persona that would have made him appropriate for noir. And the two films that he cites are the ones where his characters are kind of morally ambiguous, or, you may even say in The Searchers, it's not even morally ambiguous. The guy's a Confederate soldier. He's a racist. I mean, that's what it's about.
Huh.
Um, but he's not playing heroic characters in those films,
Right. Yeah.
and that's a good call. On Dangerous Ground would probably be a good movie for John Wayne to have played, although I would never say replace Robert Ryan
Of
with
course, yeah.
anybody in a movie. But that's some stuff there, Doug. Thank you for that.
Well, two John Ford players are in it, so
Yeah. Okay, I'll take the next one if you don't mind, because I can see it right here. Somebody, well, no, you better take it because I don't quite understand what the YouTube
So
intro.
YouTube just means it's a YouTube comment.
Oh, okay, good.
And I don't cite people's users' names because I'm not sure if they would want that. So I haven't been doing that for the YouTube stuff. Sudden
I
Fear.
getcha.
Yeah. Sudden Fear is in print from the publisher Stark House. They do an entire line of books, which are the basis for many film noirs. So people can check that out.
Absolutely. Greg Shepard at Stark House Press is doing a fabulous job in, Night Cry, which was the basis for Where the Sidewalk Ends. I think he republished Elizabeth Sansay Holdings' The Blank Wall, which was the basis of The Reckless Moment.
Ooh,
And I know that they're just,
read that.
and God bless him, Greg actually one of the main advertisers we have in the Noir City magazine as well, which we appreciate. And yeah, they're putting out Repeat Performance, the William O'Farrell novel that Repeat Performance was based on. And the afterword is by Brian Light, who, and it's the story that Brian did for the Noir City magazine, explaining the differences between the book and the film. So we have a good relationship with Stark House, and they do the Noir God's work, republishing these original novels.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to do the last one?
There are two more of these I see.
Yeah, they've both fallen their YouTube comments on fictional towns and noir.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Yes, because last time we talked, I'll admit I got a little bit stumped on favorite fictional towns in noir. But thankfully, when people watch on Facebook or YouTube, they come up with a lot of great stuff, whether off the top of their head or because they have a little time to research it. But these are some great ones, like the town of Walton. And I'm going to leave a little air in this answer because it's like I'm letting people figure out which movie had Walton as the town in which the action took place. Here, I'll do this. I'll say Walton. There's the town of Gulf City. There is Los Robles. Here's the obvious one.
Yeah.
The town of Suddenly. Right? I mean, before I saw the movie, I thought that was just, the title was just Suddenly. And then when I saw the movie, as soon as it starts, you realize that's the name of the town. Carlotta, which is kind of interesting, Harper, and Caulfield. Those are all fictional cities in film noir. And now people can figure out for themselves for the next 5 seconds if they know what movies those are.
And Carlotta's also in Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Oh, Bill, they must have used clips from this movie, which is why they had to incorporate the town into the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are Walton is the town in Fallen Angel, where Dana Andrews gets off the bus. It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like Pismo Beach in California. That's exactly what Walton seems like to me. Gulf City, of course, is the Floridian unnamed or the fictional Floridian town in Dead Reckoning. Los Robles, of course, is the pestilent border town in Touch of Evil. Suddenly is in Suddenly. Carlotta is the town in The Bribe, which is kind of interesting, kind of not in the United States. Harper is the New England town in The Stranger, which I just saw in a beautiful restoration at the Il Cinema Ritrovato Festival. And I also saw the town of Caulfield in No Man of Her Own, which also played in the Barbara Stanwyck track at Bologna, which was absolutely sensational. All those Stanwyck movies, one of it. Sorry, Anne, I don't want to make you wistful that you weren't there. It was miserable. It was hot. It was oppressive. It was painful, except when it was magnificent. Yeah, and I watched No Man of Her Own with a really, really great introduction by Imogen. God, I love that movie. Great movie.
I need to watch it again. It's been a while.
There and this is funny. So I'm good friends with this French writer director named Nicolas Sada, who's done a few really great movies. People should look him up on IMDb and watch his movies. It's Nicholas without the H, and Sada is Saada. He will be at Noir City, New York. He's coming all the way from Paris to do that. And but it was funny because I said to him, this movie might have one of my favorite Barbara Stanwyck shots of all time, which is when Lyle Betker forces her to get married at the Justice of the Peace, and the guy off screen is saying, "Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, as long as you both shall live?" and she gives this look where the entire audience realizes, okay, his hours are numbered. This guy, right? And as that scene was unfolding, Nicholas suddenly pulls out his cell phone because he wants to get a picture of Stanwyck when she gives that look. And like normally, I just detest people who take pictures of the screen in a movie. But he's a film director, and he got the exact frame where she gives the best look. It's like my favorite Stanwyck close up, and it was fabulous. And then he like texted it to me, and all. It's like, okay, that was pretty great. So I wish I had it downloaded so I could show it right now, but I'm not that sophisticated.
Okay. This is also from YouTube. 2 suggestions on who should play Jane Fonda in the imaginary Ted Turner bioflick, which I'm very sad isn't a real thing. Margaret Robbie, who I think felt like you said before, and then someone said Kristen Stewart.
Okay. I don't see Margaret Robbie at all.
No.
I just don't see that working at all. But Kristen Stewart is not bad. I mean, I can kind of see her. See, why am I saying Margaret Robbie? It's Margot Robbie. Margot
Robbie.
Yeah. But Kristen Stewart has a kind of petulance in her performances sometimes that I think suits Jane Fonda. Like the Jane Fonda who played Bree Daniels in Clout. I honestly can't see Margot Robbie playing that role. I mean, I'm sure she could.
Yeah.
But based on what we've seen so far, it's like I don't see Margot Robbie doing that kind of character. But Kristen Stewart, yeah. I've seen Only God Forgives. Have you seen that?
No, but you didn't see her when she played Joan Jett?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah. So there you go. She's got the hair already in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but she has that kind of I think she could do it. It'd be interesting. I mean, I think she's still a little young.
No, I'm confusing her. I'm confusing the Only God Forgives with Kirsten Scott Thomas. I'm confusing her with that.
Okay.
Two entirely different actresses. Sorry, people.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah. So even more. Now I'm even more on Team Kristen Stewart for that. Because yes, the woman who played Joan Jett could easily play Jane Fonda.
Yeah. So okay, good. I don't think we ever solved the Ted Turner dilemma, though. Okay, so first question.
No.
Ross from Seattle, Washington, my old stamping grounds. Over the past few years, I have noticed a marked increase in audience laughter during noir pictures. Not at jokes or during lighthearted moments in the films where you might expect a few giggles from the crowd. No, I'm referring to film goers laughing at scenes filled with darkness, drama, and tragedy. For instance, I caught a man called Adam at NOIR City in Seattle a few months ago, and during scenes where the Sammy Davis Jr. character is experiencing a mental breakdown, there are pockets of laughter in the theater. I don't remember this sort of thing happening before. Have you noticed this? Do you have any idea why it's happening more and more lately?
uh, interesting. Well, Ross, let me start by saying, well, I'll give you an anecdote first. Way back 30 years ago when I did Dark City, a wonderful guy here in San Francisco named Michael Fox, who was a terrific writer on film, wrote a lot for the SF Weekly, uh, did a story about the book, and I don't even think the Noir City Film Festival had started then. But he asked me to accompany him to a Sam Fuller double bill at the UC Theater in Berkeley, of Pickup on South Street and Underworld USA. And there were people in the audience laughing at the screen. And Michael was like, does that upset you? Does that anger you? Because I know you love these movies. And I said, not really, because one of the things that people have to realize is if you are seeing a film in public, if there's a big audience, the odds of there being 20% of 20% of the audience being kind of stupid is built in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the an expression I heard in Bologna, because the festival is hugely popular now, and it's become difficult to see movies. You have to book them in advance and all this stuff. And somebody on the staff at the festival referred to it as the catastrophe of success, which I just love that turn of phrase.
Yeah.
And I've come to accept this, having done Noir City festivals for years and years, because I'm selling out. They're full houses, and it's a given that a certain percentage of the audience isn't going to get it.
Yeah.
And it bothers me a little bit more when people say, people today just don't understand. They don't get it. It's this whole generation. And it's like, no, it's not. It's 20% or fewer of the people who attend the movies. It's the catastrophe of success, because we're selling out the theater. So yeah, they're gonna, to me, the people who laugh are no different than the lovers, the cinephiles, who applaud when a bit player comes on screen in a movie.
Yeah.
Like somebody that 90% of the audience doesn't know who they are, but that 10%, they're all going to applaud when this guy comes on screen, and it's like, well, that's disruptive and rude too, so it really doesn't bother me. I also understand that laughter is, in some cases, and I'm going to refer to A Man Called Adam in this case. I mean, that movie is so unrelentingly grim.
I think that's
that people laugh as an escape valve. It's like letting off a little steam, because the movie is so grindingly, oppressively awful in terms of this character, that at a certain point, all you can do is kind of chuckle at it and laugh. And so there are a lot of reasons for this, but here's the thing, Ross, in Seattle, I don't think this is anything new. So saying, why is it increasing? I don't think it is. I think far more people are respectful of noir films being screened theatrically than ever before. I guarantee you that in 1949, just to cite an example, if you showed No Man of Her Own, there were people laughing in the theater.
Yeah.
Right? I would say more so because movies weren't revered back then the way they are now. Right? So I don't think it's a problem, because I think you pay your money, you take your chances. That's what happens in public screenings. If somebody is rude like talking through the movie or using their cell phone or something, you got a problem. If they're just laughing, sadly, you're sitting in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Right? You just get up and move to another seat and don't listen to them. But there you go.
Okay, two things. One, when I saw A Man Called Adam at TCM, I got out of it. I met up with somebody, and we are supposed to be going to see something after that. And I was like, A Man Called Adam is like an hour and a half Al-Anon movie. And I was just sitting through the whole thing saying, you can't keep enabling him. It was like so frustrating.
Yeah.
Then the second thing I wanted to tell you was when my dad went to see Niagara when it was released.
Okay, this is good.
He went to see it in the theater, and the crowd was insane. They were all laughing like crazy all the way through the film. So yes.
And
and now if you screen,
I'm curious, were they laughing at Joseph Cotton?
They were laughing at everything, evidently. He was so melodramatic, so I think they were laughing at all the melodrama of it,
Yeah. And Joseph Cotton's performance, I could see why that would be the case, I mean, he's got a screw loose, and I don't think people were used to seeing Joseph Cotton play a character quite like that.
Yeah.
And when you take people out of their comfort zone, which in many cases in these films, where you're so familiar with a performer, you just like, oh, this is ridiculous, because this isn't the guy I'm familiar with, which is totally unfair. But you're also asking a lot of an audience. I mean, let's face it, if in a different circumstance and things, if a film like The Back Rooms is absurdly funny.
Yeah.
When the big reveal happens, it's hard for me to imagine people taking it seriously.
Yeah.
When the pirate appears,
yeah,
it's like, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, am I supposed to be scared by this? I mean, I wasn't laughing out loud in the theater, but I was certainly kind of chuckling inside. Like,
yeah. But I think it's a very absurd. But it's also there's a real absurdist, tone to the movie too, and especially also obviously having Mark Duplass play that character. He's the guy that's from the company that sees him. That sees the TV and stuff like that. That's Mark Duplass. And for people who don't know, you need to watch a movie called Creep, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
And so that character has a real comedic edge. So I think when horror fans see Mark Duplass, you're expecting something kind of absurdist and something with a little humor to it almost. Like I was so shocked when he shows up in the first scene he shows up. And I'm like, oh my God, Mark Duplass,
Yep. It's just, and it's also interesting because I think people take their, what's the word? I'll say their passions very, very seriously, right? Whether it's noir or horror or whatever, and they're offended when people laugh at the stuff that they love,
That's
and it's just like, I think it's a sign of maturity to realize that, so what? I mean, they're not insulting me. It's just like, it's so sad. If they're not getting the max out of this, that's their problem. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, and I think too, more modern audiences. I mean, I think there has been a shift, and I think there is a big sort of emphasis on maintaining sort of sardonicness, and like, so I think it's difficult sometimes now with people when they really have feelings when they're watching it. I think people are sort of more inclined to not be able to let that out. Like they don't want to be vulnerable in that way.
I understand exactly what you're saying, Anne, and that's something that bothers me more than anything else.
Yeah.
Is the superior, I laugh at everything because I'm above it all.
Yeah.
It's like, and then they're like, you really fell for that, you know? It's like, come on, give people a break.
Yeah.
They can react to a movie however they want to react to a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
not there isn't one correct reaction to any movie that has ever been made.
No, and I'm a very emotional watcher. Like it has to, if it hits me in the feels, I don't care,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
well, but I told you this is a really weird story. It's my last one, and we'll get to the second question.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking. We're at like almost 48 minutes, and we haven't gotten to the
We need
second
to speed
question.
up. But I just want to tell
I
you this.
told you this was going to be a wacky episode. Yeah.
I know. Um, but anyway, so we screened a couple years ago, we screened On Dangerous Ground, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love this movie. Just it spoke to me from the first time I ever saw it. And for some reason, this time when I was watching it on the big screen, I don't think I'd seen it on the big screen before. So, like when Robert Ryan's character first meet Ida Lupino character, like I started to cry. I cried through the rest of the movie. I cried the entire time from that point forward and stuff. And I went outside, and I ran into Alan Rhodey, and I told, he goes, "Are you all right?" I said, "No, I just like started crying." He goes, "Anne, are you okay?" It's like, I don't know what happened. But I find that movie intensely touching, and just seeing it on the big screen, I just like lost it
Yeah.
because to me it's so because on so many levels. I mean, anyway. Okay, question number 2, you do it, Eddie. We're gonna speed up, I swear to God, we'll go faster.
Okay. Here we go. This is from Drew in Columbus, Ohio. He says, Eddie, in your book about women in film noir, you write about how these characters were viewed in the 1940s and 50s. Today, when audiences watch those same films, reactions can be quite different. I see what you're doing here, Anne.
Yeah.
For example, I heard some chuckles at Noir City, Detroit, in scenes that might have drawn gasps when first released. How do you see the evolution of audience perception of women in noir, or is it just due to how the culture changes in the culture over the last 75 plus years? Yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, that's exactly what it is. I mean, there are the obvious cheap gags sitting right there when you watch these movies because the world has changed so dramatically, you can't help it.
Yeah.
When Dan Duryea says, I had to give you a beating, people react to that differently now than they did back then. You're not particularly mature if you can't grasp that and not have to like guffaw I mean, this was nowhere did this come home to me harder than when I went and saw what was it, Thunderball or something,
Yeah.
at the Paramount Theater in Oakland, and there was a really really young audience.
Yeah.
And none of the guys could deal with James Bond.
Yeah.
They just couldn't deal with it because they'd been so conditioned with political correctness and everything that they were literally like squirming and writhing in their seats and like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Probably for the benefit of their dates, but just Connery's whole macho sexist thing that he does, just drove them absolutely insane. Now, whether that was all performative stuff that I better have a negative reaction to this when secretly inside they're like, what a stud this guy is,
I know he's pretty hairy for modern audiences.
Yeah, Sean Connery does not fit the bill, for a modern audience. But there's never been a better James Bond.
Professional bodybuilder, by the way.
Pardon me?
Bodybuilder. Sean Connery's bodybuilder before he went into acting.
Yeah, which will show you like what that was all about back then, right? Pre-drugs. Yeah. So, anyway, so yeah, but what's interesting is, all of that is true, but also there's a whole new generation of young women who embrace those films wholeheartedly because they see that the women are strong in the noir films, right? They're not always good, but they're strong. And I've never quite understood the term agency,
Yeah.
but it's become very popular, almost as popular now as the word cohort, which I see appear everywhere. Every single thing I read now has the word cohort in it, used in a way totally different than it was used for the entirety of my life. So yeah, women with agency is a thing,
Yeah.
in these films that a younger generation really, really responds to.
Yeah.
So it all changes, and quite honestly, this is why we're doing this show, is because for whatever reason, film noir like hits these archetypes, but because the culture has changed so much and movies have changed so much and people have changed so much, like you can keep going back to this stuff because it's undeniably great, but you're always getting something different out of it. And it inspires this very conversation we're having right now. Like, how is it different? Why is it different? How is it the same? But that's it, because noir has these set tropes that people recognize, and yet when they see variations and derivations from it, it like alarm bells go off, and like, yeah, as they should. That's the point. Okay, let's move
Okay.
on to question number 3.
Okay. I am going to, so we've got a photo that goes with this. So let me share the screen really quick. Okay.
It's always
And
exciting when you do this, Anne, because I'm always so impressed that you actually know how to do stuff like this.
okay. Now, can you read the question? Can you see it? Do we have it on? We got the
Yes,
picture up?
I can read the question. The
Thank you.
question is, I don't really know who this is from. You'll have to fill that in later.
Oh.
It says, is the application of lipstick beyond the lips a reliable sign the woman is a femme fatale? It's something you notice, or at least I noticed, watching Perry Mason first and then film noir. The female lowlifes often slash usually apply their lipstick beyond the outer margins of their lips. When I was a kid, I thought it looked like how clowns paint their lips on. I quickly learned they didn't do it for laughs. Inordinate application of lipstick indicates duplicity, untrustworthiness, and a desperate need to hide thin lips. Well, yeah, that one I go with. And then thank you, whoever this is. They just end it by saying, discuss.
And that was
Okay.
from a Perry Mason episode.
That was, I don't recognize the actress, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. You would have to Doug, put it in the comments.
Yeah, there you go. But I will say, I mean, well, first I'm going to say that Nora Fiore wrote an entire article about this for the Noir City magazine several years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Lipstick in Noir. It was brilliant, and she had all kinds of photographic examples of this very thing. I will tell you that the queen of excessive lipstick is Gloria Graham, who had a very thin upper lip and after a while deformed upper lip because of surgery that she had. And so she would constantly draw the lipstick a little. Now, here's the big question that I don't have the answer for. Did she do it, or was it mandated by the studio that she put her lips on, put her face on, in an exaggerated fashion? Barbara Stanwyck in Crime of Passion also has that.
Mhm.
Like there's like the lipstick is way too much, right? I find it hard to believe that Stanwyck would do something that wasn't her idea.
Mhm.
So she was probably using that as a character thing in her performance. It's not something she uniformly did. Gloria Graham had a tendency to do it in the 1950s, especially after her botched surgery on her lip, where it kind of altered things. Not only would she draw more lip on with the lipstick, but she would stuff things
The
in her
Kleenex, yeah.
upper lip, Kleenex and stuff to give her more of a poutiness in her mouth. But I know what they're referring to here. Uh, I don't know the answer because you can't. I feel like some scientist with this. You can't infer that it has a meaning other than it became a common practice for some reason in the 1950s.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe some women thought it was a good idea. Maybe it was a new style trend or something. I don't think you can say it was done intentionally to indicate, as they say, how did they describe it? Indicating duplicity, untrustworthiness, and the desperate need to hide thin lips. I don't know.
Okay.
Now, of course, what's a more egregious thing? A over application of lipstick or injection of collagen? You tell me. I
Yeah.
mean, and in a sense, like, what's the difference, right? Women now they blow
You're
up
permanently damaging yourself as
instead of
opposed
just
to,
drawing on a little
just
more lip.
drawing on, which is
Yeah,
actually not going to permanently damage
yeah.
you because filler moves.
Which
Yeah.
generation has the real problem?
Oh. Okay. I'm hoping you can help me out concerning a film noir mystery that has been haunting me for some time now. There is a film from 1957 called Hot Summer Night that airs occasionally on TCM. In the last 3 minutes of the movie, there is a scene of a funeral procession for the small town's notorious local hero. The camera is panning down the sidewalk, showing the reactions of various citizens. All of a sudden, there appears a very familiar face that has not been seen before in the film. The camera pauses for a few seconds on a close-up of the face, and oh my God, it's Shirley MacLaine, or at least a dead ringer for her. I'm attaching a screenshot, which I will show you. Conspicuously missing from the scene is Marianne Stewart, who would have certainly been present since she had a strong connection to the recently deceased. Perhaps Shirley is standing in for Marion. I've scoured the internet trying to find any info I can about Shirley being in this movie in an uncredited role and have come up with absolutely nothing. Can you please help? And I will show you the photos.
Oh,
Here.
good. There are photos.
They're photos. So let's go ahead and do that.
Because I missed this entirely. I mean, it didn't. I've seen the movie, but I didn't.
So this
I
is
didn't.
the person
Oh
in
my
the
God!
funeral
It's Shirley
procession.
MacLaine. Okay. No, that is not Shirley MacLaine.
That's what I felt too. It did not look like her to me.
I mean, I see it. I could see a similarity in the face, but that is not Shirley MacLaine. Now I'm looking at the poster on the wall behind her because it looks like it's for a boxing card.
So now you're interested. Okay.
No, but and also I don't think it makes sense because what year was the trouble with Harry?
I don't know. I guess
But
I'm having a
I
mousing problem.
I don't think not only do I not think that is Shirley MacLaine, I don't think that Shirley MacLaine would have been. I think she was already known.
Yeah, that was what because I felt like she kind of went into like, she didn't have like a big period of just being in Hollywood doing stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and uh, what's the other one? The Wrong Man. It's kind of famous for there's a quick shot in The Wrong Man at the stage door where Tuesday Weld and Bonnie Franklin are two girls at the stage door
Oh wow.
who get a close up, and it's clearly a very young Tuesday Weld and Bonnie Franklin, like together
Wild.
as girlfriends in this shot, and somehow I think that like I pointed that out when I showed it on Noir Alley,
No.
and I think that it somehow inspired people to like find other famous people who were one shot in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Randy, I get how you think that could be Shirley MacLaine, but I sincerely doubt that it is.
Next question is from Bob from North Hollywood, California. I've been collecting physical media since 1977. I now have over 10,000 films. Can you recommend who I could donate this collection to when I pass on? I would like this collection to wind up somewhere where young people could benefit by it.
Well, I would normally say dedicate it to your local library, uh, but local libraries are not in a really great place right now.
Yeah.
Um, because Bob does not specify, it sounds like, Bob, you've been collecting physical media of all genres and all types, which makes it a vast thing. Most people I know who are collectors who have all this stuff, particularly when it is media like this, uh, donate it to universities.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have the
Oh, that's a good
infrastructure.
idea. Yeah.
They have the infrastructure to support it, and as you say, it's young people who then have access to all of this stuff. So, I mean, I would donate it to a school or a university. Like I've been thinking about this lately because if I showed you a traveling camera shot of the room I'm sitting in, you would see how much freaking media is in this room.
Yeah.
And I've started thinking about what am I going to do with all this stuff. I will probably, don't hold me to this, because there is a Film Noir Foundation collection at the University of at UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles. Uh, you know, I've always imagined, like, well, I'll donate all this stuff to the Film Noir Foundation collection at UCLA. And that makes perfect sense to me. It's accomplishing just what Bob wants to accomplish here. It's like available, it's accessible, free of charge, and mostly to young people, which makes perfect sense to me.
Right.
That may be where I end up, putting my poster collection, all the photographs that I've amassed over the years and everything. I mean, it's a pretty big collection of stuff. And I would probably only want to entrust it to a stable educational institution.
Yeah. Okay. Lightning round.
Lightning round. Jesus, we're an hour in and we finally reached the lightning round. Here we go.
Yes. All right, this is Jim in Chicago, Illinois. I enjoyed reading Rachel Walther's article in the latest edition of NOIR City magazine. American actors featured in post-war Italian noir movies. The Swindle, The Cry.
This is brand new.
Yeah, this is a current issue. The Swindle, The Cry, Without Pity. The Swindle, The Cry, and Without Pity. Of the three, I have only seen the Fellini movie Il Bodone on TCM, although Noir Alley is shown Without Pity as well. Any chance we might see Il Grido starring Eddie's favorite hunk of burning love, Steve Cochran, on Noir Alley anytime soon?
No, it won't be on Noir Alley. It's a little too far afield to be on Noir Alley, but it may. I sometimes get to program things that are not noir in various other parts of TCM, and I would definitely take that under advisement. If Alicia wanted to show Il Grido as part of TCM Imports and have me co-host it because it's noir adjacent, I'd love to do that, and I would even talk to her about making that happen. But thanks for mentioning that article, which I thought was really, really terrific. So,
okay, and this is from Jamie O, Hartford, Connecticut. I'm curious if there has ever been any thought given to having an additional page added to the Foundation's website that would provide a rating of noir films. I'm thinking of something fairly inclusive, something like the book The Film Noir Guide by Michael Keeney, 5-star basis. I'd love to have additional reliable source such as the Czar of Noir or some thumbnail information from the Foundation's knowledgeable staff or on the deeper cuts and more recent offerings of the genre, including neo-noir.
No.
Thank you.
No, that's not going to happen because I'm not a big fan of rating system stuff.
No.
You know, when I write about movies, I just try to write about movies in a way that if this sounds interesting to you, watch it and form your own opinions. I don't go with a star system for movies. You know, I know that Leonard, God bless him, Leonard Maltin, like really, really popularized that with his movie guides, which they serve a different purpose. You know, so the answer is no.
Okay. Let's see. This is from Kingpin Johnny from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Face the Music is the theme of this year's North City festivals. Okay, how about Truffaut's Shoot the Piano Player? The lead character is a musician who most definitely faces the music.
We certainly considered it, but I didn't want to include. I kept it to American films, by and large, you know, except or English language films, let's say, because I didn't want to confuse it with the international festivals that we do. And so, yes, Shoot the Piano Player was certainly considered, but not included. But I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that it'll pop up somewhere down the road.
Yay. Michael from Post Falls, Idaho. On last night's Ask Eddie episode, May 14th, Eddie read from a list of noir-tinged comedies that a fan had created. Annigan mentioned her Columbo Club, and Eddie referred to having shown a collection of heist films in a previous North City. Those three items sparked the thought. One of my favorite comedies is 1979's The In-Laws, in which CIA agent Peter Falk involves soon-to-be in-law dentist Alan Arkin in the theft of monetary engraving plates from the U.S. Treasury Department. Though it's an absurdist comedy, could The In-Laws be considered noir-tinged since this is essentially a heist film?
That's a really good question. Written by Alan Bergman, who had written a lot of kind of noir parodies. You know, not all of them turned into movies, but that was kind of Alan Bergman's thing. And so, yeah, I could see where one would think that. And I find that movie riotously funny. Peter Falk and Alan Arkin, serpentine. That movie is hysterically funny. I would, if I did like a night of comedies or something on TCM, I would lobby for that to be included. Absolutely.
I saw that in a theater when I was a kid.
So did I.
Yeah, and I just remember because my Aunt Virginia was visiting from Saudi, and she was laughing so hard, and I think that was the first time I'd ever heard an adult like laugh that much, like that loud too, which is ironic because I have an extremely loud laugh. Like I've had people come up to me after a movie. Like one time when I was back in Seattle, I went to see The Producers, and like the couple days later, I was meeting up with my boss Lyle to go over the films we were buying for the video store for that month. He said to me, "Were you at the Producers at the Crest the other day?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I thought it was you. I heard you laughing. I was sitting in the back of the theater."
Is there a better sound on earth than an audience cracking up
No,
and
it's
just
wonderful.
laughing
Oh, I love
helplessly?
it.
It's
I
it's
love
the
it.
greatest sound. When I showed the Good Humor Man
Yeah,
at Noir City, that was such a fabulous experience because the audience is just helpless. You
yeah.
can't stop, you know. And that movie gets so goofy, and you know, all those crazy ass Frank Tashlin ideas, like with the kids in the swimming pool and the buzz saw going around and all that
Well,
stuff. Like the audience is just guffawing. You see people like bouncing in their seats, and it's like these are adults. These aren't kids at
yeah.
a Saturday matinee. They're adults. I see, there's nothing wrong with laughing. There is
Yeah.
nothing wrong with laughing.
I
Okay.
always go to Laurel and Hardy's at the San Francisco Silent Film
Yeah.
Festival. It's always my favorite. Okay, Scott from Los Angeles asks, recently I listened to an episode of the Bloody Pit podcast which discussed Destiny from 1944. They asked the question, will there ever be a high definition release of this movie like there was for Flesh and Fantasy? Universal doesn't seem to be doing anything with it. It is auto blocked on YouTube. Will any company work on restoring this movie? Is this a movie that the Film Noir Foundation will work on since it's a Universal movie?
Who asked this question?
That question was sorry. Whoops. I
Well,
just
it
closed my
doesn't
dog.
matter. It doesn't matter. But good question. I have tried. I am, and I will continue to try. My One of my dream projects is reuniting Destiny with Flesh and Fantasy, and having it come out as a 4-part film instead of a 3-part film as it is now. And I have to tell you, no offense if people, well, I'm just, maybe I know there are people from Universal listening to this. I know it, right? And I'm just going to say one more time, when that deal lapses that they had for the DVD or Blu-ray publication of Flesh and Fantasy, you must come to me, because we will talk about reuniting Destiny with Flesh and Fantasy, doing a restored version of the film the way Julien Duvivier planned it. I know that the production notes and the original script, Duvivier's original script, exist. They're at Universal. The film can be put back in its proper form and still exist as 2 separate films. But that is a major goal of mine, because that film would be a revelation to go back on the film festival circuit. We could show it at Il Cinema Ritrovato in Bologna. Duvivier has been sort of resurrected in recent years and finally getting his due as one of the great French filmmakers. And I sincerely want that to happen. And it would be a step beyond what the Film Noir Foundation has been able to accomplish so far, which is just restoring the films to make them in better condition. This would be actually restoring a film to the artist's original intent,
Yeah.
which Universal at the time said this not Deanna Durbin, this Gloria Jean movie, Destiny, is too weird. It's just too freaking weird to be part of a movie that also features Barbara Stanwyck and Charles Boyer and Edward G. Robinson. And I think of it as a little minor masterpiece.
Me too. It's
thing,
incredible.
But
I was surprised by it.
Yeah, but the Duvivier part of the film is a masterpiece. The Reginald Labour passages of the film are like a bad B movie, and like, just get rid of them. You don't need that stuff. I've done a very, very detailed analysis of these shot by shot, so that I know, like, this fits here, this goes there, and then it's the film that Duvivier wanted. I did that and then reached out to Universal and actually had a lot of this confirmed. Like, yeah, we actually have Duvivier's original continuity script, and like that's the way it is. And so it's only because they didn't really know that they were one movie at one time. The people at Universal and the home entertainment division didn't know that. I mean, why should they? I guess, I don't know, but they didn't. So when they made the deal for the Blu-ray, they didn't realize that Destiny had a role in that film. Destiny had a role in that film. But yeah, so it's still a possibility, and it's still something I'd love to have happen. That was definitely not a lightning round answer to that question.
I was going to say, I didn't realize it was going to be that long of an answer, which is why I put in the lightning round. That was a mistake.
No, because I have done a lot of work on that, put a lot of effort and work into that, understanding what's what with that title, and I want that to happen.
Okay. Do you want to read 6?
Sure. Okay. The titles in the film noir movement are as varied as the movies themselves. Some titles sum up the movie as a whole. Some draw our attention to a plot point, and others seem to have nothing to do with the movie at all. Some great movies have mediocre titles, and some mediocre movies have great titles. Among my favorite noir titles are Ride the Pink Horse, Chase a Crooked Shadow, and Where the Sidewalk Ends. What are some of your favorites? Says Joe from Suffolk County, New York. And I'm going to let you lead it. Do you have a favorite noir title?
I like On Dangerous Ground because there's so many different meanings to it that apply to the movie.
That's a good choice, and also one that's on right at the top of
On
our
top of my
heads
head
since
because we were just talking about it.
we've talked about it a lot.
I'll
I
think
have
about it
to
and cry later.
I have to tell you not to be off color, but I'm not a huge fan of Ride the Pink Horse because it sounds like something else.
Oh, I didn't
Sounds
think, I never thought of that, Eddie.
sounds a little too much to do with feminine hygiene and things for me
Oh,
to.
I was thinking of something else.
Oh, okay. But that's okay. Um you know, Out of the Past is a great title,
Wow.
just in and of itself. Um there's like some of them that they blow is like Crack Up should have had the original title, which was Madman's Holiday,
Oh,
which I
that's a better
love.
holiday.
I
That's a
love
way,
that.
way better
Yeah,
title.
I love that title. That was the original Frederick Brown story that it was based on. You can't do better than the Asphalt Jungle. The
Oh, that's a
Asphalt
great
Jungle
title.
is just a great title. Then there are like he was saying, mediocre titles like Crisscross is one of my favorite noir films, but it's
Oh,
just
it's
a
kind of a, I could
dumb.
apply to any noir, right?
Yeah, it's just not a good title, right? Um, I mean, you can't do better than for a noir film than They Live by Night. They Live
Yeah.
by Night is a really great title. Um, what's a great, like, unexpected. I've never understood exactly the title "Leave Her to Heaven." I've never quite understood that title. Does it mean anything to you? Leave her to heaven.
Saying I feel like in the book that's either there's a quote about it or that's more explained in the book.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I read the book. I mean, I guess maybe it was that idea of just that, you know, of not being able to do anything about it in this lifetime.
Yeah. And I
Like,
mean, Fallen Angel is a good title because you're not entirely sure who it applies to in the film, right? Like
yeah,
which of these characters is the fallen angel, right?
yeah.
I mean that's so that I've always liked that title. Um, okay, this is going to take too long, but this is a really good. I mean, sometimes like the title that doesn't apply to anything, like Scarlet Street. Like,
Yeah.
why is the movie called Scarlet Street? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Um, but yeah, okay. I'm drawing
Okay.
a blank now. I'm trying too hard.
Okay.
Something's just got to pop into my head. We'll see how we do. But
Everybody
on
throw down
dangerous
yours.
ground, on dangerous ground, I agree is a great title. Here's another one that's good title I don't have any idea what the hell it means. Is Pick Up on South Street, because it's really there is no pickup on South Street in the movie. Really,
Yeah.
it's just a title that sounds really good.
No, but there is this really great moment in Return to Salem's Lot
With
where
Sam.
with yeah, Sam Fuller's in it, and there's a scene. I put it up on my Facebook before where Sam's character is standing by out a street by street sign, and it's just a South Street
Classic.
behind him, and he gets picked up
That's
there. The guy
great.
comes and picks him up. So yeah,
And I'm just going to throw this out there because I know people, if they're watching this on YouTube, they can do this immediately. If you haven't seen this, you have to go and check out Sam Fuller's audition tape for the role of Hyman Roth in Godfather 2.
oh wow,
Right? The part was eventually played by Lee Strasberg, who was terrific in it.
yeah,
But Sam Fuller actually auditioned for that
oh
role.
wow,
And you can watch his audition tape on YouTube. It's fantastic. He would have been good, but Lee Strasberg did. Lee Strasberg could play frail, a one-time powerful man who is now frail. He could do that better than Sam Fuller because Sam did not in any way, shape, or form appear frail.
yeah.
So that was, but anyway, there you go. Something else to watch when you're done with us. Okay,
Alan,
you're
sorry. So Alan from San Anselmo, because he always spells it out for me. Actor Denzel Washington stated, "Clout has replaced talent." Any thoughts?
uh same as it ever was. I don't know. Cloud has replaced talent. I'm going
Yeah,
to
same as it ever was. No kidding.
um I mean, obviously actors have way more clout now than they've ever had before. But I can't quite say that it's replaced talent.
Yeah.
Um, I get why Denzel Washington would say something like that. I don't know that it's actually true. Um, you say that when you see a person who you don't think is very good get a big movie made on the strength of their appeal or their box office or something, and they may not be any good. So I'm just going to take this moment to throw out on the plane coming home from Bologna. I watched this recent movie Roofman with Channing Tatum.
Hmm.
Channing Tatum is a movie star.
Hmm.
I just think Channing Tatum is fantastic. Comedy, drama, whatever it is, and I wish he had more clout.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never quite like,
He's there. They'll cast him and stuff,
yeah.
and he's always good. He's always good. And I just think he has so much charisma and so much talent. Right? He's funny. He can dance. He can be scary. He can. Yeah, the guy's great.
Yeah, but
Right?
yeah.
That's it. Just
No,
wanted
but
to
I
make
mean,
sure I got that in.
no, but that's like Peter Gallagher. Peter Gallagher's tremendously talented. He
Yeah.
can do drama. He's
Yeah.
fantastic at comedy. Very, good looking guy. Great singer. I mean, does musical theater. He's a real actor. He's a stage actor. Sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he's just never quite crossed into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
actual
Played the
thing,
Burt Lancaster role in in Soderbergh's remake of Crisscross.
which I still haven't seen. I need
Yeah.
to watch that.
The Underneath. Yeah.
Yes, I have a copy of it that I didn't keep reminding myself I need to actually watch it. Okay, so this is from Doug, not our Doug, another Doug. Uh, Binge the dozen half-hour episodes of 21 Beacon Street, 1958 television show. Brainiac Private Eye solves cases cleverly. He had never heard of and why not renewed. Answer: it was only a limited summer replacement. Later producers sued Mission Impossible for stealing the idea. Have you guys seen it? All episodes are on YouTube.
No, I have not seen it. I've just heard of the show, but I have
Yeah.
not seen it. But I like Doug. He is good. He says, uh, any idea why it was not renewed? The answer is it was only a limited summer replacement. It's like he asked the question and answers it himself. So thank you, Doug, because I did not know the answer to that question. So I appreciate your help in that regard. Um, okay.
Okay. I'll do it. Ken from Oklahoma. I noticed that Barbara Stanwyck and Robert Mitchum never worked together on a film. Are there two other actors from the film noir era that you had wished had worked together, or at least worked together more often in film noir?
Hmm. Um, I don't know, which is kind of weird because Stanwyck, being a free agent, worked with a lot of people.
Yeah,
I mean that the two Mrs. Carrolls was just because they wanted to make a movie together.
yeah,
Bogart and Stanwyck. It's like, why haven't we ever worked together? And then they did. But she did. It's funny because she did work with a lot of guys once,
yeah.
just for the sake of let's do it. She Cry Wolf with Errol Flynn and all the stuff where she would do it one time with these guys. Um, I don't know. Do you have any?
I mean, I saw there's an episode of the Barbara Stanwyck show where she played opposite Dan Dury. Joan Blondell was also in this episode. It was
Oh
really
wow.
good, and I would have liked to seen her and Dury have worked together on the big screen. Would have been, that would have been my ideal movie.
Yeah, that would have been great. Absolutely. By the way, I saw it wasn't a very good print, I'm sorry to say, but I saw 40 Guns in Bologna as
Uh,
part of that Stanwyck thing, and that
the first time I ever saw that movie was in a theater, and that opening shot on the
oh my
big
god,
screen is fantastic. That's the greatest opening I think I've ever seen in a
it
film.
is it actually is one of the great openings
Oh
ever.
God.
And the problem was the sound on the print was not good.
Oh,
And so you didn't get the thundering hooves of the
hooves and
40 gunmen on their
oh,
horses and Stanwyck leading the stampede,
oh,
and the whole, it is just so incredible. She is so great in that
oh,
movie.
she's
And
awesome.
no offense to Barry Sullivan,
Yeah.
but like there you go. If that had been Robert Mitchum
Oh my
playing
God.
playing that character instead
Yeah.
of Barry Sullivan, that
Yeah.
that would have been pretty freaking awesome.
Um,
I mean, the movie.
oh, you know who I would have liked to see in a movie together? Not necessarily a noir, but a western. Barbara Stanwyck and Audie Murphy. Damn,
Well,
that would
of
have been
course,
great.
you're Audie Murphy obsessed. Yeah, but I have to
Awesome.
say, with the exception of like his early '50s stuff, like Pickup on South Street and Hell and High Water, and then Robert Ryan and House of Bamboo. Sam Fuller, like in the later years, he didn't really have the best leading men,
Hmm.
right? I have a fondness for Cliff Robertson in Underworld USA.
Yeah,
But
I think
let's
he's
let
really good in that,
he
actually.
is really good in the film, but let's face it, a lot of actors could have played that part. And
Well,
uh, but it's weird. Like I've never like Gene Barry in China Gate, and he's also in 40 Guns. There was something about Gene Barry that Sam Fuller liked, and I don't quite see it. And I just think those later films like Naked Kiss and Shock Corridor, the men are kind of weak in those movies, the leading men. The women are great. Constance Towers is really
oh
good.
yeah, yeah,
And and I don't want to put these guys down. It's just like I guess he couldn't afford like Crimson Kimono. You get James Shigeta is great in it, but
yeah,
Glenn Corbett is not like this compelling actor on screen.
yeah.
And yeah, it's weird. I
Okay.
probably should I probably shouldn't have detoured and brought that up, but it just was an observation because it's made me think like, boy, if Mitchum had been in 40 Guns, what a freaking show that would have been.
Yeah, yeah.
It still is a magnificent
Oh
movie.
yeah. It's and Stanwyck's just so fantastic in it. Okay, last question from Mike. My question is this. In your personal opinion, Eddie, what studio do you think was the studio of noir? Which one, looking back, really specialized in the noir we love? I already know your answer.
Mike, you have not been paying attention. Sorry to reprimand you, but if you have been watching Noir Alley, you know that the answer to that question is RKO, Radio Pictures. Uh, uh, because that was that was their budget level, was noir. Fox made a lot of noir, but they also made a lot of spectacular A pictures, as did Universal and MGM and so. But RKO, that was right in their wheelhouse. And once Val Lewton started making those B horror films for them, and they realized how much you could get out of nothing, it kind of became the modus operandi for the studio. And then when the studio ran into financial trouble and was struggling in the late 40s, that it became their business model, was we're going to make movies that don't cost a lot of money because we can't afford the risk. And noir fit right in. So they were making 8 to 10 of these a year at RKO because the budgets were manageable. And they had an incredible stable of cinematographers at that studio.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Musaraka and Harry Wild and Robert Legras, and all who could do this stuff and get John Alton like results for a lot less money.
Yeah.
So in my mind, there is no question that I have many times called RKO, the House of Noir.
Yeah, and they had Robert Mitchum.
And they had Robert Mitchum to point the camera at. So
Yeah. I think we should skip that. Okay, so really quickly, I just really want to recommend, Ted and I have been watching the Apple TV series Widow's Bay, and it is fantastic. Great, great horror series with a wonderful sense of humor to it as well. And clearly the people who do it really love horror, because the opening title, the font is the same as some from the old Stephen King books, not the
yes,
ones you're thinking of that were used for Sutter Kane for Prince of Darkness, but earlier than that. It's so funny because like you do that. And then also, so they introduce early, they talk about the boogeyman, and I'm like, okay, that's a Halloween reference. And then when the boogeyman finally shows up in this one episode that's just focused on him and the woman who escaped him earlier, there were so many nods, not just to the original Halloween, but other Halloween movies, including the fire stunt from Halloween 2. I mean, it was like that particular
it's so
episode
fast.
was just like, this,
Yeah.
this is our slasher episode. And it was great. It was really scary and really suspenseful, as well as having the humor that characterizes the whole series. And so these different episodes, some of the different episodes really have like different tones, are kind of, and there's kind of an underlying like Jaws theme with, because it's around this mayor of the small island town,
Yeah.
so there's kind
Yeah.
of these Jaws references, and but all the references and little Easter eggs, like if they're there, you love them, but they don't take away from the story itself, which is very, very strong. The story is strong. And also the story is also very much a nod to The Fog. Another John Carpenter
Well,
film.
it's funny. I've watched 2 episodes of it, and I get exactly what you're saying. But quite honestly, I've heard people raving about it, and I had a little, that meta aspect of the show put me back on my heels a little bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite tell, are they being reverential to all this stuff, or is this a pastiche of all these horror?
Oh, they're definite.
Shows?
They're definite, just like little love letters here and there. And also, I mean, you got to keep going. First of all, the guy that plays the lead, the Welsh guy whose name I can't remember.
Matthew Rhys, he's
Yeah,
fantastic. He
he
played
is
Perry Mason, and
fantastic.
yeah, he
And
is great.
and the
And
guy
I
that
don't,
plays his son is very good too. And the woman that's the his assistant, fantastic. I
oh
love
yeah,
I love the old lady that's his secretary. She's really, I mean, like all the townspeople, and the guy who played Barry's handler in the series, Barry's in it, who's great. And they really ramp up the suspense as the series goes
okay. Well,
along, where
I'm
it
gonna
kicks
hang
up
in.
and kicks up and kicks up
I'm gonna hang in and
and
keep
gets
watching it.
darker and darker too.
Well, good. That's a good recommendation, and I like Matthew Rhys very much. I got a very Twin Peaks vibe off of it as well, especially with.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
But I love the woman, the dark-haired woman who plays the assistant. Who
Oh, she's
I
fantastic.
the last episode I saw was the one where she throws the party
Yeah.
at the
Oh,
at the
God, that
local
was a great one. Yeah, which was a great like um folk horror episode, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you got to watch your Halloween episode, man. It's
Okay,
fantastic.
you have convinced me. You've convinced me, and to stick with it and keep going. And it was funny because I just last night was flipping around on the TV after the World Cup, and they were showing Jaws, and I started watching it. Which is very, very hard to stop watching Jaws once you start. Because mostly because of the performances. I think
Yeah.
all the performances in that film are so great. I mean, obviously Spielberg was really finding himself as
Yeah.
a director with that movie, but they're all so incredibly good. But I thought, like, it did occur to me that, like, Widow's Bay
Oh yeah.
is like if Murray Hamilton's
Was the
character
main
was the lead
character.
character in the show. Yeah. But
Exactly. And
thankfully, Matthew Rhys has a lot more charisma, and he's much more attractive character than Murray
yeah,
Hamilton.
he's much more likable, but he's essentially doing this. So it is. That's exactly right. It's like if Jaws was being told from the point of view of the mayor of the town.
Exactly. We got to put this town on the map. We got to get somebody here from the New York Times to write about our town and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Don't give me this we're haunted by a curse crap. I'm trying
Yeah.
to turn this into a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
So I highly recommend that to everybody. That's all. I
Okay,
just wanted
good.
to say that.
And I have no other things. I mean, I recommended Roofman, which I thought was, I'm telling you, for the first 30 minutes, I thought, okay, this is a neglected classic in a way. And it didn't hold up as well as I would hope through the entire movie, but I did enjoy it. And I really think that I'm going to go back and revisit other Channing Tatum movies. You've seen Hail Caesar, right? The Coen Brothers
Yes.
movie, where
Yeah.
he has a big dance number that's
Yeah.
without question the best thing in the movie. I don't know. I just think, and I didn't see all the Magic Mike movies, but the first one
I didn't see any of them.
is fantastic in that
Yeah.
film. He's just great. So anyway, um, who knows? Maybe he's made something that's noir. I don't really know,
Well,
but
I think he did that film that's set on an island where he's this rich guy that owns this island and these people get invited to it. And I think that's pretty noirish. And he plays a sort of charismatic guy. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be a really good movie. There was just some thematic stuff in it, which is why I didn't see it because it's just
oh,
stuff I don't
interesting.
like.
I'll look
But he
that up.
plays a
I'll look that
very
up.
like it's kind of dark character in that. So if you're into him, I think that would be an interesting
Cool.
film. Yeah.
Very good.
I can't
Okay.
remember the name of it. Just type in Channing Tatum Island movie and it'll show up.
Somehow, Anne, we were so far behind, and then we caught up.
Yeah, pretty much. We're a little
We're
long,
a
but not too
little
much.
long, but
Not
not
too
not. I
much.
thought we were going to be like 20 minutes over, and we're only like 9 minutes over. So,
Yeah, I'm happy about that
like
too.
there's a deadline on this stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, we could ramble for another 3 hours. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. We won't.
But we won't. But
Maybe
I
we should
hope
do
since
shrooms
you're now
sometime and
see what happens.
see what happens. That's just a joke. I'm
Um,
totally straight edge. Everybody knows that.
no comment. I know about you, but I'm just saying no comment from my end.
Yeah,
Look, I still have, after all this time, we must have been engaged in a good conversation because I still have some of my martini left here. And
good.
unfortunately, it's very warm now, which is not the way I
Warm
like.
martini's not good.
Okay. So
Okay.
I want everybody to come out and say hi and come enjoy the Noir City, New York tomorrow at the Paris Theater in New York. You can go to their website, paristheater.com, and see the whole lineup of films. It's going to be great fun. I will be there for the whole run and special guests and all sorts of fun stuff. So,
And just let people know also with that. So the first part of it is basically the kind of programming we had this year with the Face the Music, but the second part of it is like just really classic noir. So if there's stuff you haven't seen on the big screen, there's a lot of really cool stuff also playing, in the latter half with that are more they're not thematically linked other than they're all really great examples
a
of the
lot of
genre.
the we didn't adhere to it because there's stuff like Touch of Evil in there and a
A
couple
lot of New
other,
York stuff, right?
there's a lot of New York stuff, including like Guilty Bystander, Force of Evil, Sweet Smell of Success, uh, The Big Clock, a lot of real classics. And I really appreciate what the Paris Theater did with the programming because they honored the fact that this year's theme was Face the Music and musicians in noir. But they felt since this is our first foray into New York City, like we should also, because the Face the Music thing has some outliers, like
Very
Love
much
Me or
so.
Leave Me
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Walk
It's
Home
not
Adam
as
and stuff like
yeah.
that. It's not hardcore noir. So they said for the first time out, we should also include some, genuine traditional noir titles. So it's actually over the course of 10 days, it's 32 movies,
Yeah.
32 movies, which is a banquet. So
Yeah. Yeah.
come out and enjoy the noir banquet.
I'll see if I can get my brother to go.
Oh, please have him introduce himself if he does.
Okay.
I would like to meet him.
Maybe I can get my other brother coming from New Jersey. You can meet both
There,
my brothers.
there you go. Fantastic. And
Oh,
always a pleasure.
yay!
I think we had good energy tonight.
I think so too.
I hope you all agree, and I hope I see some of you in New York, and then we'll see you back here very soon.
Very,
Right?
very soon, hopefully in 2 weeks. So everybody have a great night and yeah, like
Thanks a
that.
million.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.